Welcome to the Episode 30 summary of the Reading Finnegans Wake in 200 Sessions podcast, where we analyze Finnegans Wake by James Joyce 3 pages at a time. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, and leave a comment to support us. Now, Finnegans Wake, it's got a reputation, right? Maybe the most difficult book ever written. But what if we took a few pages and treated them less like dense literature and more like a thrilling true crime story? That's what we're doing today. We are on the hunt for the book's main guy, HCE, to unravel a seriously bizarre mystery.
Okay, let's just dive right in. We are tackling some notoriously tricky pages here, but we're going to look at them through a totally different lens. Forget about literary analysis for a second and think of this whole thing as a cold case file. Our central character, this big-shot patriarch, HCE, well, he's vanished. And the one question that's going to drive our whole investigation is simple. What in the world really happened to him?
So the story kicks off not with a quiet police search or anything like that, but with absolute citywide chaos. Our guy, HCE, has gone to ground, and the public completely flips out. Their reaction? To organize what the book calls a massive, frantic fox hunt to track him down. And that's not just a metaphor. It is literally the main event.
And the chase starts immediately. Joyce paints this incredible picture. Gun dogs of all breeds were beagling. And you can just imagine bugles blaring out this proclamation not just to the city, but to the whole world. It's actually a play on the Pope's address, Urbi et Orbi. The point is, everyone is involved. This is a massive public spectacle.
Now, what's really cool here is the specific hunting language Joyce uses. The pack is hot to run him, and the conditions couldn't be more perfect. Given law means the fox gets a head start, to make it fair. And a scent breast high? That means the scent is so strong and clear that the dogs can run at full tilt without even lowering their heads. The pursuit is immediate, it's intense, and it is absolutely relentless.
But here's the thing. HCE is no ordinary fox. The book says he uses volponism, which is a brilliant little nod to Ben Jonson's old play Volpone, or The Fox. He's using fox-like cunning, hiding out in the covert or thick bushes, and even playing possum, pretending to be weak or dead just to throw everyone off his trail. So this isn't some simple chase, it's a real battle of wits.
Okay, so let's move on to the aftermath. The hunt ends, but there's no body. And that just pours gasoline on the fire. See, the community needs an answer, and when there are no facts, a crazy storm of rumors starts to swirl. The first, and maybe most popular set of theories, is that HCE is dead.
And the stories are, well, they're all over the place. Was it suicide? One newsletter seems to think so. Or maybe it was an infamous private ailment, which is basically a polite way of saying something like syphilis. Another theory? He just got drunk and fell into a lily pond. Or, and this is my personal favorite, he was simply recalled and scrap-heaped by the maker, like a faulty appliance. The key thing here is that nobody can agree on a single story.
This phrase right here from the book just captures the mood perfectly. The public doesn't just want him dead, they want him genuinely quite beetly dead. It's this darkly funny line, and it echoes a bit from Joyce's other masterpiece, Ulysses. It just shows this weirdly desperate need for his death to be final, no matter how ridiculous the story is.
But what if he isn't dead at all? This leads us to the next batch of theories. A whole counter-narrative starts to build that HCE, our cunning fox, just gave everyone the slip. So the investigation takes a sharp turn from a potential tragedy to this epic tale of a great escape.
And get this, the level of detail in these rumors is amazing. He supposedly escaped through a tunnel, a detail Joyce actually lifted from a real newspaper story about a prison break. Then he stowed away on a ship and popped back up in Turkey under a new name, an Islamic new name, living in the body of an Irish giant named Cornelius McGrath. In this version of the story, he goes from being a local disgrace to an international man of mystery.
All right, and this brings us to the darkest theory of all, foul play. I mean, if he didn't die on his own, and he didn't escape, then someone else must be responsible, right? The rumor mill starts churning out stories of murder.
The murder theory is basically split into two camps. The first one is almost mythical. He was devoured by some kind of beast in a cave. And the beasts could be anything from actual wolves to croppies, who were Irish rebels, to friars, whose heads, fun fact, once had the same bounty as a wolf's. The second theory is way more grounded and political. It was real murder, and the MacMahon chaps did it, which is a direct reference to a really brutal real-life murder case from the Irish Civil War. So, just to recap, we have suicide, illness, an accident,
a grand escape, and murder. The investigation is a total mess of contradictions. And then, right in the middle of all this noise, a single piece of physical evidence appears, nailed right to his front door. And it looks like it might just settle the question, once and for all. And this is it. This is the notice. Move up, Mumpty, Mike room for Rumpty. It's this cryptic, kind of sing-songy nursery rhyme order, but historically it echoes a chant from the Irish Civil War. Move up Mick, make room for Dick, which was about Michael Collins being replaced by his successor. The message is pretty clear. The old man is gone and someone new is taking his spot. Case closed?
Yeah, not quite. If you've been paying attention, you know nothing in Finnegans Wake is ever that simple. The whole point of this chaotic investigation of all these stories isn't to find the one true answer. It's to realize that all the stories matter.
And here it is. This is the ultimate reveal. HCE isn't one single, stable person. His actual identity is the sum of all these conflicting stories. He is the cunning fox being hunted. He is the tragic suicide, the drunken fool, the clever escape artist, the victim of some monster, and the target of a political hit. He only exists through the stories that people tell about him. And that's the thought I really want to leave you with. HCE's story isn't about finding a neat conclusion. It's about this endless cycle of falling from grace, dying, and then being reborn through stories. So if a person's identity is just a collection of narratives, what happens to a guy like HCE, whose stories just keep multiplying and contradicting each other forever? Well, he can never truly disappear. The mystery's never solved because the storytelling never ever stops.